via cargo warehousing, consolidation and deconsolidation, both on the transshipment as well as the domestic scale. The success of Kingston Logistics, Jamaica, led to the establishment of KLC Panama, and this was established in the year 2012. This provided us with a presence in the Panama Free Zone, and today we have weekly volume of containers from Panama moving into the Caribbean. So therefore, when we look at this and look at our growth, logistics is entrenched in our DNA. But what is also entrenched is our ability to upcycle used shipping containers and transform them into homes, offices, bars, restaurants, you name it. As we go through the program this afternoon, my team will take you through the journey of upcycled containers, and I'm sure you will have a greater appreciation for shipping containers. So therefore, when you see a container on the road, you're no longer thinking, oh, it's just a box carrying cargo. No, you need to be thinking, oh, this could be my office. This could be my Airbnb. This could be my farmhouse. So there are many possibilities with this great product. So our job here this evening is to get the imagination turning. Get the imagination turning and seeing containers through a different lens. We will be unboxing 3 containers this evening, and I trust you will enjoy what we have to share. Thank you.
You'll notice that we're sanitizing each time, right? COVID, we may think COVID is behind us, but is it all the way or just to the side? So we still have to observe the protocols. Okay, so we have quite a number of men in the audience, probably outnumbered by females, but I know women likes football. Now let's play a number game. 974. Do you know which area code that is? Yes? That's the area code for Qatar. Did you know that 974 being the area code for Qatar, where the 2022 FIFA World Cup was held, the name of the football stadium 974 was actually built from 974 shipping containers, recycling, reusing. The 974 stadium has a capacity to house approximately 44,000 persons. Now that's food for thought. So as we move into recycling, we will go to introducing our Vice President for the Central America and Caribbean District for ZIM Integrated Shipping Limited, Chairman of the Board of Directors for Kingston Logistics Center and Caribstar Shipping Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of ZIM Integrated Shipping Limited. Embedded in our DNA is the Z factor, but most of all, it's the spirit of optimization. She believes that the act of optimizing is the key to sustainability, where we should always look for ways to do things better using less resources. For example, lower fuel consumption and the increased use of digitized tools to achieve our goals. She possessed the spirit of can-do approach, coupled with the spirit of togetherness, innovation, and agility. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Mikkel Derfner.
Hello, okay, I'm a shoulder. Hello, everyone, the Prime Minister. I'm very honored to be here today again. I joined, let's say, this region 4 years ago. I'm working in ZIM for the last 15 years in various positions, but in the head office in Israel. work now? Okay, perfect. Okay, so thank you again. As I mentioned, in the last 15 years, I'm working in ZIM, various positions. And in 2018, I was relocated to Miami in order to be the VP of the Central America and the Caribbean district. And as part of my role, I'm also a chairman of KLC. My first travel in the region was to Jamaica. They told me if I want to understand the Caribbean culture, the Caribbean business, I need to first come to Jamaica. And then I understand why. It's the heart of the Caribbean. Not just because ZIM decided and chose Jamaica as her hub. And therefore, we had a 100% committed to Jamaica, not only as a shipping industry, but as a close relationship. As were mentioned that the Z factor. In the Z factor, we believe in communication. We believe in a real partnership. We don't believe as business as a flat thing. So when I came to Jamaica in my first time in 2018, one of my 10 travels here, I fell in love. I fell in love in the culture. I fell in love in the people. I fell in love in the woman power. And this is why we are so proud of Keisha being the general manager of KLC. And in this day, I was committed that same as I'm pushing ZIM to the next level of this region, KLC will go along together with ZIM. And this is why we are investing enormously since I joined together with Keisha a lot. With the rich stacker that you can see around, with forklift, with new equipment. And of course, this refurbishing segment, it's something that we really believe, mainly for the sustainability. One of the main values for ZIM is the sustainability. And this is why we think that this segment is so important. It's important for our environment, and sustainability is not only recycling, it's also the community. It's also how we are doing things differently. And this is why we really want to promote this segment in Jamaica as very a thing, as we have our experience in Israel. We are using containers for dorms. We are using containers for soldiers in the army, as a person that was 2 years in the army. We are using it for housing for the younger generation, as we know inflation and the high cost of a new family to build a house. So this is a great opportunity for the young generation. And in many things, we think that Israel and Jamaica is really alike. And this is why, for me, it's not, as I mentioned, only a business. It's really a passion to promote this segment, to promote KLC, and to continue the great relationship that ZIM and KLC has in Jamaica, and to continue to grow and invest. Thank you very much for all of you to come and see our beautiful things. Thank you very much.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been telling you about the container homes, we've been telling you about recycling, we've been telling you about the various uses. Now, I'd like to invite you to just ponder for a moment on the evolution of housing in Jamaica since the island was discovered by Christopher Columbus. For those of us who did history but didn't like it that much, we'll remember that houses were first made from sticks and straws and mud to concrete blocks and steel. Then we moved into prefabrication housing, and now we are now moving and introducing you to container housing. So just to prove that it's not all talk, we'll now invite you to watch a video presentation on container housing. Oh, are we? Okay, so we are having some technical difficulties. So unfortunately, we will not be having that presentation. So now we will move straight into a presentation from our novelette, Henry Matheson, right? Novelette will be educating us on upcycling the box and turning a box into your dream. Novelette, welcome.
I must say you all look fabulous. Fabulous. But let me take care of the porticos by starting with the most honorable Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, Minister Pernell Charles, Senator Matthew Samudo, Senator Janice Allen, Senator Floyd Morris, Senator Damon Crawford, Chairman of KLC, Mrs. Mikhail Daphne, hi, Director of KLC, Captain Samar Gott, Team KLC, and other distinguished guests. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, my task here is to speak a little about containers, the whole evolution of housing. I mean, if we go back to the beginning of times, when shelter is one of the necessities of life, right? We all evolved to have shelter, food. Those are the basic fundamental of survival. And so men were building houses from sticks, straws. I did a Google search. I was trying to remember this name my grandmother talked about all the time. And I was thinking to myself, and I'm sharing with some of my colleagues, I was saying doll and water, but then I realized, what is it, Prime Minister? Water and doll. And I'm confused what I'm saying. I know my grandmother talked about this. And then when I look at the word, what's it really saying? The dab is like, you dab, you know our potter, you splash and dash, and you go, you have a little this, and you mix it up with that. So that's how that word, I realized that's how that word evolved. That type of structure, wall and that. So it's like a little mud, a little straw, and what they're trying to do is to have a firm structure. And so, hence the name, wall and Prime Minister, help me. Wattle and Doll, Wattle and Doll. And so that was, I think, one of the first type of houses where you could think it's made from cement. So the mud were there, cement, to make it come together and have structure and a firm foundation. And then you have, if I think then bird houses evolve. You know, I think we're still having technical problems because I really want to show you a typical wattle and dove, I got it this time, and a typical bird house. So a typical bird house is really just, for most part, from tongue and groove. Prime Minister, am I right? Tongue and groove, bird effect, which I think is beautiful if it's well maintained and kept nicely. So it evolves from wattle and doll to bird structure, and typically a typical family would live in a one-bedroom with a mother, a father, and 5 kids. It's no such generation where we're all having 1 kid or no kid. at least 5 kids in a one-bedroom. And so, as we are human, and we strive to self-actualize, and so we, as a people, we continue to find other options, other alternative building solutions. And so here comes block and steel, conventional block and steel. So persons are making a little bigger house than a one-bedroom board house. And of course, I could go on. That evolved into some monstrosity of fabulous houses built from conventional block and steel on your east wing, your west wing. I am still self-actualizing, and one day we will get there. Oh wow. Here is, who remembers this? Tell me what is happening there. What is happening right there? What is happening? Moving house. I remember as a child, we had a neighbor. We grew up as kids. And one day we were outside and we saw his house being carried by about 15 men, 15 people, just lifting the house. There wasn't any truck, because maybe I don't want to date myself. And of course we had cars. Oh, please. I was going to say those days is donkey carts. But of course we had cars. But they were literally lifting the house. These houses were built on plinths, what we call stills. We call it stills, but it's really plinths. And these houses had cellars. So they could remove the house from the foundation and carry it, literally take it to another location. In this case, can you go back to the moving house? Can you go back to the house on the truck? In this case, seems to me that's on a flatbed. It looks a little short, but maybe. Then, of course, can you show me the Doll on Water house? That one. That's a wall and that one. If you look closely, you can see that it's daub up. You know, a mix of mud, straw, just to create that, give that strength and make it safe for people and their families, right? And then we evolve into, as I mentioned, board houses. You can show me the board house. Show me a board house. Something like that. That was a typical board house for families in Jamaica. And I'm sure all over the world. It's not unique to Jamaica, because shelter is a staff of life for every human being on this earth. And so as a people, we evolve, and we want to self-actualize and accomplish the best for ourselves and our families. And so, as I mentioned, persons start building conventional block and steel, 2-story, 1-story. So the optics right now out there, a lot of apartments. If you see, construction is booming. Thank you, Prime Minister. Construction is booming. Jamaica, construction is booming. Jamaica is looking really good. I'm proud to be a Jamaican. When I traverse city of Kingston, when was the Carnival Day? Granted, Carnival Day, I almost couldn't reach home because I blocked off the road for the carnival. I took the detour route, and guess what was happening at the corner, Sir Prime Minister? A big construction. Housing was going up. I was proud to see that. I was a little delayed, but I had nothing to go on, so I was happy. I was coming from here, setting up down here, and was heading home. But construction is booming, and we're happy for that. So outside of conventional, because conventional is there, but what we want to do, KLC, is to unbox every individual in Jamaica, as long as you're earning an honest living. be it you're a teacher, a policeman, name another civil servants, soldiers, nurses, doctors, you name it. Once you're earning an honest living, I think every human being should be able to achieve that necessity of life, of owning a home. It's very important. It's a good feeling to say, I own this place. So, if you don't have a house now, but you have some land, you can become a own owner. Prime Minister will see to it. The NHT, I believe, has a built-and-own land. Sir, am I right? Right. They have a built-and-own land. You can apply. Just make sure you're paying your NHT to make sure you're qualified. So when you go to NHT to get a loan, nobody's telling you that you're not on the list. And even if you're self-employed, you can still contribute to be able to get those benefits. I'm not sure if NHT is in the house. Is Mr. Moore here? Sir Moore, how are you? So, I'm inviting all these gentle people here to visit your office, and I'm sure you have a team who can assist them to ensure that they're contributing to the NHT trust. Right, sir? So, let's go back to container housing. Tell me, when you see a container on the road, on a truck, you're driving home, you're coming to work, and you see a container. I know a lot of us feel a little scared because it's very intimidating sometimes. And these truck drivers can really ensure that you're intimidated, you know? But tell me, when you see a container on a chassis on the road, what comes to mind? What comes to mind? The mic, I'm sorry, what comes to mind? I'm seeing Miss Baker here, Miss Jen, Miss Janice. I'm seeing Miss Baker, but I'm not going to ask Miss Baker of operators of Marine, Jamaica Customs. I'm not going to ask that question. Sir Prime Minister, neither will I ask you, Sir Prime Minister, because I know once Jamaica Customs and Prime Minister and Financial Minister, Sir Nigel, I know once you guys see a container on the road, the only thing comes to mind. Sir Prime Minister? Revenues, customs, duties, and revenues. The only thing that comes to mind. And so I'm not going to ask either of those persons. I'll ask GQ of a gentleman here. What comes to mind when you see a container on the road? Goods. Goods. Goods come to mind. So that would mean importation, some sort of trading, because we import a lot of stuff. We eat a lot, and so we import a lot. Also, we do manufacture and produce a lot. We eat some of it, but I think we export most of it. And we do that, obviously, Prime Minister will tell you, for revenues, because we need the Jamaican, we need the US currency. One day we can keep our Jamaican currency because it will straighten, right, Prime Minister? But for right now, we need the US currency, and so we export. So, back to the container. What we did as KLC, we want to unbox your dream for you to own a home. And we have an alternative building solution by using upcycled containers. We have several options. My colleague will speak to it later in terms of the different options, in terms of the price point we can speak after this forum. But containers are, it's a box. It's already covered. So basically, you just need to insulate it, because persons will ask the question, is it hot? Because they're looking at steel. And yes, when steel is exposed to the elements of the sun, it becomes very hot. But of course, because we're using it for housing, we obviously will have to do some insulation by way of drywall, insulation by way of a material. You can either use fiberglass or what is called a Prodex, which is a more modern material, which retards the heat, and so it makes the space comfortable. Similar like any block and steel conventional buildings, you have your windows, your doors, you dress it up, as much as possible, create that curve appeal, and make it comfortable. Anything you can get in a conventional block and steel house, you can get it in a container, right? So we can build a specification. We build a specification. What we do, because some of us are not as creative as some, what we did was to create a few different types, prototypes, so you can have an appreciation for the alternative building solutions. Okay? I have to go because time is going and Prime Minister have another engagement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Novlet. Okay, so I won't take long. Novlet took you to Auckland Dub. She was trying to pronounce it, but for most of us who have grandparents or great-grandparents in the country, we know Auckland Dub, right? The mud and the stick, and once you're inside, you wonder, but these houses are not usually hot. You ever stop to wonder? You think about going to Portmore, and you try to remember going to the country to visit. It's not usually that humid inside, and we wonder what keeps us so cool. Probably it's the mud. Never can tell, right? So guys, we're now looking at the evolution of housing. At this point, we'll have a testimonial from one of our customers, and this will be presented by our Shireen Forbes, who is the marketing consultant here at Kingston Logistics Center. Shireen will be upselling these container homes. I'm sure if you look beyond me, some persons are wondering, is that a container? Yes, guys, that is the container home. That's actually the Modana. Think about that.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to be guided by our technical team. Thank you so much for being here. Our special guest, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, I'm so happy that you're here also. Our minister, some of our ministers, I'm seeing that they're not here. However, for every single person that is here, a warm, special welcome. I thank you, I appreciate you for coming out today. And I would just like to share with you what it is that we're selling to you with our upcycled container homes. So we're going to share our testimonial from our actual customer, an actual customer who owns a KLC container home. But before that, I want you to see what it is that we are launching. So we are launching our 6 designs of upcycled container homes. And these 6 designs, in essence, we are doing 1 bedroom, 2 1-bedrooms, 2 2-bedrooms, and 2 3-bedroom options. So there's a standard and an ultra option. All right? Now, we have the Madonna on show, which is our model unit. However, the Madonna is just one of our 6 designs.
So the Madonna is one type of the units that we're launching. Following me so far? All right. Okay. So our first unit is the stratum. And the stratum is a 20-foot container with 1 bedroom. It's a studio design with kitchen, bath, and bed and yes, a studio design with kitchen, bath, and bedroom. And the amenities are our standard amenities, which would include your ceramic tiles, your Decrabond roofing, and the drywall insulation. So all our units do have drywall insulation, and you don't have that heat consideration for any of the units. All right? So this is the stratum. Now for each of our models, you can add amenities to include our balcony, a front balcony, a roof balcony, a back patio, solar units. So for the Madonna, as you can see, we have solar panel in here provided by our solar panel alternative power sources, or balcony and windows and doors. We can also add that as an addition to the standard offer. So what I'm presenting here with the prices are the standard offers. All right. Volume. Oh, we had a nice little music behind it, so I'm hoping that you can hear the pretty music. However, this is a stratum design, and the stratum is the single bedroom studio design. So we wanted to give you a visual idea in terms of what this includes. This one in the design has a balcony and banister addition to the standard. It doesn't come with a pizza, but if you want the slice of pizza in your design, we'll be sure to deliver the pizza as well. Our furniture partner is Courts Jamaica Limited, Unicoma. So they also have a special offer that they will be providing. Should you choose to make a purchase, you will have a special discount on your furniture and appliances. All right. So, moving on now to our second design. This is a twin stratum. So the twin stratum is a 40-foot container, and it's a 1-bedroom unit, but it has now the 40-foot design. It gives you more space. So like I said, your standard offers as well as your ultra. So the twin designs would be your ultra design. The twin stratum is a 40-foot container with a 1-bedroom, kitchen, bath, bedroom, and a small living area, and the standard amenities, which we won't repeat. It's 320 square feet, and the cost is 3.8 million. All right, and this is what the twin stratum looks like. So in this twin stratum model, the balcony has been added and the front patio space. Everybody still with me? Okay. Yes, the pretty music starts. Yay! Our landscaping partner is Stephen Jones Landscaping and Garden Decor. So if you also want to have landscaping done, we will have our landscapers as a part of our ecosystem. Who would imagine that this could have been a container? So KLC has traditionally been doing customization with our container units, and with this launch what we are doing is to offer standard designs to the market. It is new to the market, so I'm sure we will have 1.0 and 1.2 and 1.3, but to start with, these are the designs that we are introducing. We have also introduced and invited our realtors into the conversation, many realtors here today, because we want you to help to advise us how to make this a marketable product. All right. The other is the mod. The mod is the 40-foot unit, which has 2 bedrooms. So the 2 bedrooms with a kitchen, a bath, and the square footage is 320 at 4.1 million. Oops. Mod? No mod? Okay, the mod is not a green screen, I assure you. Let us move on to the Madonna. The Madonna is a unit that we have here. So the Madonna is a 40-foot container with a 20 as well. It's a 2-bedroom unit. This one gives you a bit more space than the mod would. It's a kitchen, bath, bedroom, a small living area, and we have a front patio, decor-bound roofing. So this model has all the bells and whistles, to include our balcony banister. We have our solar paneling and everything. So the cost that we have is $8.5 for the Madonna, and the Madonna, this is with the bells and whistles. Without the bells and whistles, you wouldn't have gone to the 8.5. Oh, so we're showing our actual Madonna. There you go. Now you can imagine that clients will have different tastes. So some clients will want the very basic design. Some clients may want to have granite countertops and top-end amenities, and that can be done as well by KLC. Now, the fifth design is the Imperial. The Imperial, as the name suggests, gives you start going to your luxury, spacious, big family kind of thing. So this is the 2 40-foot containers. It's a 3-bedroom unit. It has kitchen, bath, bedroom, living area, 640 square feet, and it's at the $10 million range. All right. So with our joined units, what would happen is that we would deliver the units separately. So each container would be delivered separately, and then we would do the joining at your premises. Okay? The single units is turnkey. The joined units, we would fit it together at your premises, so that would take a minor construction time, but nothing major. Certainly not compared to brick and mortar. And our final design is the Twin Imperial. All right, so the Twin Imperial is another 3-bedroom unit, but it gives you even more space. So it has a 20-foot container added to the 2 40-foot containers. More living space, and the price is $12.5 million for a square footage of 800. All right. It doesn't come with a car, but we can work out something. So as you can see, the balcony, roof balcony with the banister has been added in this model, and you just live nice in your container home. And our drawings are nice, but you will see when you go through the actual tour of the actual units that the physical thing is even so much nicer. All right, so just in closing, I just wanted to explain to you really why you are here today. We wanted to show you the designs that we are launching, but we also wanted to invite all the persons here to be a part of helping us to create an ecosystem to support the access to container homes, right? So if you're here from a financial institution, it is for you to go back to your office now and to say, all right, how can we create a container home loan? NHT, we'll be looking to say, all right, you can access your NHT points. You can use your NHT points to access your container homes. Or the realtors, everybody from every institution here is here strategically chosen to help us to create a network and an ecosystem that will support access. As you can see from our prices as well, this is not necessarily the lowest priced offer that we have on the market, but we have positioned it as an alternative housing solution that many Jamaicans would find as an attractive housing solution. So they may not be able to access brick and mortar, and there are also persons who would be interested, like say you're in the Jamaican diaspora living overseas, you may want to just come and live in your container home, and then you say, bye-bye container home, rent container home, and you collect your rental income on your container home. Or you could use it as a farm home, for instance. Likewise, for a small family who is, just getting settled, a container home is a nice solution. And the Madonna, you will see when I say it's a nice option to be considered. All right, thanks for having us, and we look forward to having you later on today.
Thank you, Shireen. Can you give her a round of applause, please? Well said, well marketed. Can I tell you that while I was standing over there, I was saying, hold on, the NHT benefit increased, right? So we can now get 7.5 million, right? And then there's a build and own that is different, right? Mr. Payman, Mr. Moore, right? So, you know, we may want to get the children out, or the main house might be getting a little too small, but you have a little space around the back. Look at the mother now. So, we are now going to be having a testimonial, right, from a customer who resides in Clarendon. So once again, we will not be showing you just an example, but we're going to be showing you now a person who has bought a container home, who now resides in a container home because they felt it was time to downsize because the children had grown and they had left home. So this presentation will be done by our own Roxanne.
Hi, good afternoon. So I know you're looking forward to the testimonial, but I am not the customer. I am just here to give you a background on container homes across the world, what the global market for container living is looking like. So let's take it away. Building a shipping container home is an attractive option for many people nowadays, especially for those who are planning to move out of the city and establish their families in the country areas. If you are considering shipping container as building your next home, then give us a call. All right, so I have some background information for you. These container homes are homes constructed using cargo containers and are affordable and faster to build, energy efficient, durable, and eco-friendly. These boxes can be stacked on top of each other to create amazing designs. Container homes are gaining popularity worldwide as a new alternative living. Did you know that approximately 4 million containers in the world are currently being used as homes, right? The global container home market is predicted to grow 47% by 2029. No audio? Okay, so this is one of our customers and a member of staff asking her if she would really live in a container home. And she is not averse to it. She likes the design and that they are very pretty. The model unit here, she had a look at it and she was amazed by how the final product looked.
If you actually didn't know, because based on how they structured them, covered it, varnishing.
Right.
It looks very good.
So basically, you're trying to say that you'd actually live in one.
Yes, I would.
Great.
Yes, I would.
All right. So there are a couple of advantages of a container home. One of them is that it can be mobile. It is durable. It is very cost effective. Right.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a version of a container home.
Well, we will next look at some container homes around the world. So here we have a cozy home, some cozy homes in Canada, looking fabulous. All right, suitable for, you know, single people. And this is our next home is a terrific home in Texas. Look at it, rustic, nice. And this is the next, this is in Miami. Look at this, magnificent. And this is in Ghana, gorgeous. And this is in Illinois. Look at it, very contemporary, intriguing, innovative. So container homes are cost effective when compared to the material and labor costs for traditional homes. They are faster to build, and they can be completed in a fraction of the time it takes to construct a house from scratch. It could be move-in ready in just a matter of weeks. Shipping containers, homes were built to endure the elements, so you can imagine that they are durable. They can last for several decades if they are treated and cared properly. They are environmentally friendly because basically we're repurposing used containers, so no new material is required. You can customize them and they can be mobile. Now, are you ready to build your container home? If you're ready to build your container home and that piece of land that you have down in the country, you can surely give us a call. Our special projects team stand ready, headed by Mrs. Mattison, ready to serve you. Go Team KLC. And thank you.
Check. Thank you, Roxanne, for that. I know we've been waiting on the testimonial from our resident in Clarendon, and it's now ready for playing. So this is a family. Give us some volume, please.
And we were at home for 2 weeks, just my husband and I. He suddenly said to me one day, "Let me come and see what it is you are doing with that container. I think we may have to go to live there." And when he came in, and he said, "So where you said the bed is going to go again?" I said, "Here." And he said, "What about my desk?" I said, "Your what?" "And my bookshelves." I said, "You're crazy. We don't have space for that here." And he said, "All right, I tell you what. I know a place called Kingston Logistics Center. I'm going to contact them, and I'm going to get 2 more containers to expand on what you have here and see if we can make it a bit more comfortable for living." And that's how it started.
Modified shipping containers, repurposed for housing and commercial use, have grown significantly over recent years. Containers are a sought-after housing alternative globally, as they are sustainable, low maintenance, and environmentally friendly. They also have a relatively short modification turnaround time, and they are less costly as compared to brick and mortar. Kingston Logistics Center, KLC, is Jamaica's leader in container modification. We boast a highly skilled and experienced team who've repurposed containers into homes, offices, classrooms, clinics, industrial kitchens, and the list goes on. As Jamaica's real estate market matures, modified shipping containers are a growing and attractive option. Kingston Logistics Center, KLC, is excited to continue leading Jamaica forward into a revolutionized real estate landscape where buyers are buying and building homes and offices while securing the life they envisage for themselves. Live the life you want to live on your terms. Unbox your dreams faster, easier, and smarter. Secure your KLC upcycled container home today.
Thank you, thank you. So I guess we are now ready to unboxing our dreams. Faster, easier, smarter. Initially, I mentioned that we are merging technology and architecture to give you this lovely structure. With our can-do approach, our innovativeness, and our togetherness that's embedded in the team of KLC, Kingston Logistics Center, nothing is impossible. At this time, before we have the address by our PM, I'd like to invite the Mario to just entertain us, give us something nice, right? Just to whet our palates. The Mario.
Put your hands together for KLC. We've got sunshine. Put your hands together on cloudy day. Hey, when it's cold outside, KLC has the month of May. Hey, 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 well, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way? Shout it. KLC, talking about KLC. They have so much harmony and save you money. The beat and the them. Hey, keep the trap going. Come on. They've got the sweetest song and home, baby. Like the bird in the tree. Hey, hey, hey. Well, I guess you say, who can make us smile this way? Sing it. KLC, talking about. Okay, so the Prime Minister's side is side A, and the Managing Director's side is side B. You're going to say KLC. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go, Mr. Pierre. I love that. Let me hear your side B. Well, guess what? Side B won today, and you're near. Oh, you save so much money. The bees envy you. Come to KLC. They have the sweetest song, baby. Like the birds in the tree. Come on, put that together, come on. Well, I guess you say, who can make me smile this way? Sing it. KLC, talking about KLC, talking about KLC, and they believe it. Talking about KLC. Okay, John talking about. I like that. Talk about. Sir, what do you say? KLC. If the Prime Minister says so, what can I do? I'm out of here. God bless you all. KLC.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So at this point, without any further delay, I would like to introduce to you the Prime Minister the person coming believes that quality housing is one of the most important tools for social change and will give every effort and support to ensure that this mandate is fulfilled. He's affectionately known in the construction industry as the builder man. Mr. PM, the goal of this administration is to make home ownership a reality and not a dream. Let us welcome the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, to the lectern. Please stand.
Please. Now, there's one thing I observed, which I thought I should point out about KLC, is that it seems to be female-led. I observed the program, and except for DeMario, it was entirely female-led. And so I picked up on that. Ms. Durfner, chairman of ZIM, vice president of Central and Caribbean Board Chairman, ZIM Integrated Shipping Limited, and Kingston Logistics Center. That's the correct title. And Kisha, who I've had a great conversation with, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and I had some friends across the way who were waving at me, but I suspect it's time for them to go home, so they may have left. It is a pleasure to be here with you this afternoon as we launch the Kingston Logistics Center Limited upcycled container homes and have a ribbon cutting for the 2-bedroom model home, the Madonna, that's what it is called. The Madonna, as you would have seen, is one of 6 designs that will be available. Now, the KLC has been providing modified shipping containers for commercial purposes for many years and are known for building offices, restaurants, bars, storage units, classrooms, mobile clinics, but now they intend to be known for building homes. So I asked Kisha whether or not they're going to construct an entire housing scheme out of containers. Her response was they would like to. It is a good business prospect. The size of the container home market in 2021 was estimated at $56.85 billion worldwide. And it is expected to grow to $87.1 billion by 2029. And we see how this is possible because companies that are involved in shipping, in architecture, in furniture design and development, they are merging the technology to provide solutions to housing demand. In Jamaica, we estimate that we have a housing deficit of over 100,000 units. That is significant. The government has said that we will build. Well, build is not the precise term. Rather, we will provide 70,000 solutions to the housing market. The NHT is here with me, Donald Moore, and the NHT has committed to provide 43,000
housing solutions of that 70,000. And the last time that I checked, which was a few weeks ago when I delivered my budget presentation, they identified their way to about 35,000 units, meaning that they have either in the ground, they have come out of ground, they have completed, or they have plans, they have drafted, they have identified the lands, or they have identified the developers who want to build those houses. So in different phases of the housing development, they have identified clearly how they will provide so far 30,000. So they have another 35,000. So they have another 8,000 to figure out. The Housing Agency of Jamaica has committed to do 15,000, and they are also working their way. It is not a simple task, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we need to identify the lands. And I'm certain when I say this, that immediately persons listening will say, you have so many acreages of idle land across Jamaica. That might be the case. But the challenge is not all lands are for housing. It's number one, because we cannot give up good agricultural land or good commercial land for housing. So we have to be very careful with that to preserve agricultural land and strategic lands. And then, of course, you know the terrain of Jamaica. It is very hilly. And if you don't select good terrain, then the cost of the housing will increase. So we have to identify what I would call that sweet spot in selecting the land. You need flat terrain, but most of all, you need land that is in proximity to infrastructure. Because if you select land without infrastructure, the cost of the unit is going to go up. So you want to get land that is in proximity to already built infrastructure where you only need to do the last mile. So we don't really have that many options when it comes to finding lands that are readily and easily used for housing. Nevertheless, we are well on our way in identifying the lands on which we will build these 70,000 housing solutions, which we expect will address this significant housing deficit that exists in our country. However, there is an element, a segment of the housing market which we need to pay serious attention to. And that is the infilling of communities that many of them were built 50, 60, 70 years ago. They are now at a stage where the buildings have reached their useful life. And they are not necessarily providing shelter. The truth is they are more a harm to the residents than they provide safety and shelter. And then, of course, we have another segment of the housing market, which would be the irregularly settled lands right across Jamaica, informal communities. And we have to find an easily deployed solution for those two elements of the housing market. Because the old saying is so true, and particularly true in construction: time is money. And the longer you take to actually build the structure, the more expensive the structure will be. So there is this emerging trend of the ready-built, as we call it in Jamaica, the pre-built housing solution, where you can place it on a flatbed, take a crane, lift it off, and put it in place, and with minor improvements, you have a housing solution in short order. The containers provide that option. And so I was happy to see that in the 6 options that are provided, that there are some solutions that are quite affordable, starting from, I believe I saw 2.8, going all the way up to 12. So it's quite affordable and within the range of a large segment of the housing market. The challenge is for a company like KLC is to win over the Jamaican public in utilizing these new innovative housing solutions. And I think you are doing a very good job in your launch and starting out when you have presented for us to see behind the screen here. It is called the Madonna, and that is a well-appointed two-bedroom unit, which is cladded on the outside, insulated on the inside, and you have put on a lovely Decrabon roof on top of it, and you could not tell from looking at it that it was a containerized housing solution. So I'm here today because I am the Minister of Housing. Not doing my prime ministerial duties today, I'm doing my Minister of Housing duty, which is to promote solutions for our housing market. And so I want to promote this as an option, as a solution. I know that there are many persons considering who have lands maybe in the country, in rural areas. They have buildings that are old that they would want to demolish and would want to quickly install a new solution, and they're looking at container solutions. They have seen the container solutions work for offices. They have seen it work in classrooms. Governments have used it to create facilities when they are in need quickly, temporary facilities. And so now the technology has advanced sufficiently where whatever drawbacks there were for containers, that we can now easily deploy them. First and foremost, the insulation technology has improved, so I don't think that should be a problem anymore. The ability to move them around, we have the equipment locally to do that. The technology to ensure that they don't rust and deteriorate, that technology has improved in terms of the chemicals that are used to seal and secure the metal. And with the new modern designs, they can be made to look very appealing. So I'm happy to endorse this new initiative by KLC to move into the housing market with containers as a viable solution for those who are looking for a rapid deployment of housing solutions. So, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to cut the ribbon on your new Madonna housing solution. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. Would we like to give him another round of applause? Very insightful, short, spicy, and to the point. So, some of the points to note, we have a shortage of 100,000 housing solutions. NHT to provide 40,000, they have only, Mr. Moore, 43,000, right? You have identified 35, so there's a shortage of 8. Keisha, note the numbers. Housing Agency, 8,000. So we need to have KLC on this list, right? So I'm sure that our managing director will explore, along with our vice president. We want to invest in the country. We want to continue to contribute to the economic growth of Jamaica, right? So for sustainability, that's what KLC and ZIM is all about. We'll now Oh, we have a gift for the PM.
I may very well have to probably secure a few for my constituents
Yes,
who may be interested.
yes, yes, yes. Oh, Keisha will be handing you the gift.
I think you have it right.
Keisha, come on this side. Come over here, Keisha. Right,
Yeah.
right.
You never forget
Right.
Excuse me.
the moment, right? And it's
You have to turn this in.
Yes.
Okay.
so I'm presenting you Prime Minister with a picture of the Imperial,
Nice.
right? So you always have embedded in your mind the experience of this event.
Thank you.
You know.
At this point, we will have